All right, everybody, welcome to Wrestling with Reality. I am John, and of course, joining me, as always, on this wonderful Wednesday night every week, my partner, Richie Rich, Mr. Richie Reardon. What is going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We're in the thick of the heat out here again, man. So it's been interesting, dude. I'm glad to be on here with you guys tonight. Glad to talk some wrestling. Glad to talk this new topic that we got, man. Was it really that bad? We're gonna revisit some of the worst moments according to history in wrestling and see if they were really that bad, man. And one of them tonight that I'm looking forward to look at is Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar with Stone Cold as a guest referee.
WrestleMania 20 from MSG, Madison Square Garden. Dude, I don't remember this match at all except the fans just destroying them during the match. That's all I remember about it. I have never seen it since it aired in any way, so I don't remember if the match was good or bad. I just remember the crowd destroyed them.
They did.
Throughout the whole
They
match.
did. And, you know, it was because they were in front of Madison Square Garden, for one thing, and history has shown that that's like one of the smartest crowds when it comes to knowing things going on behind the scenes. So, you know, they knew that Brock Lesnar and Goldberg were both leaving and that they weren't going to invest too much of their energy into this match. And so, you know, in my opinion, I think Stone Cold and Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, on paper, you put those three in a ring, that's going to put some butts in the seats. So I'm not too sure what happened, how they clubbed it, but they did, man. They did in a big way.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar, I think, has an interesting moment at the end of the match where he flips the crowd off. And,
He does.
you know, Brock Lesnar was a young man at that point in time, and he seemed very glad to be leaving the World Wrestling Federation at that moment. And he really thought there was going to be greener pastures. Did well for himself, though. You know, had a great career in the UFC.
The Vikings, man. I mean, he that was his first venture that he left. And let's be honest, Brock Lesnar is a freak of nature. Any sport you put him in, he's going to excel. And the UFC, he crossed over and won the heavyweight championship.
Yeah, so he did pretty well for himself, and then came back all those years later and made a triumphant return. I think it was about 2012 or 13.
I think it was 2013, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there, and he shocked everybody, and he came back. And then what nobody thought would ever happen was Goldberg came back years ago, and let's be honest, whatever you think of Goldberg, it was a hell of a moment that they had at Survivor Series with Goldberg squashing Brock Lesnar. And, man, I didn't expect that was going to happen. I thought they were going to have Lesnar at the time, who was the most over guy on the roster. I thought they were going to have him just steamroll Goldberg. And then
I'm going to be honest with you, that at that time frame, wrestling for us, we were still watching it regularly. And this was one of the hottest moments for you and I. When we watched it, we were like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was really cool, man.
Big way. But then, you know, even he dropped the ball when he went against The Undertaker that year. So.
Yeah, I think it was a year or two later he went against
The Undertaker. A year or two later, you're right.
Yeah, he had his moments, and he didn't know when to walk away. They kept parading him back out for a few years, but apparently he's still going to get one last match, they said.
Lord, I hope not.
Yeah, no, they're saying it's going to happen. I guess he worked on an agreement with Triple H.
You think it'll be against Braun Breaker?
No, I think it'll be against Gunther. So
Gunther?
Yeah, I think it'll be against Gunther. I think they set it up actually this week at Backlash. I think they have maybe Goldberg interfere in that match with Gunther and McAfee. And
is it Crown Jewel?
I don't know what they'd have after Backlash. Maybe it's Crown Jewel. I'm not sure, but I think he's going to interrupt the McAfee Gunther match, and he's going to cost Gunther the match against McAfee. And
something's got to happen, right? I mean, they're not going to have McAfee win clean in a wrestling match. Let's be honest.
Goldberg's going to come out, I think, during it.
Out of him.
And it's going to set up his last match, to which Gunther's going to just fucking eviscerate him. You know?
Yeah, and I hope he does. I hope he does, to be honest with you.
I hope so, too.
I think Gunther is the top player in the business right now.
Dude, always been a fan, and I always will be of Gunther.
Yeah.
Let's go to the comments really fast. Say his name, and he appears. I believe it's John Cena. You can't see him, buddy. Jude, what's going on? Hey, happy birthday to Jude yesterday. It was his birthday.
Absolutely. How old are you now, man? That beard can't get any better.
He's 22 years old. Don't you know him with that beard? He's
22.
Only 22 years old.
Wrong age. I remember when I was 22. I was drinking beer even better than John Wangland then.
Oh, you're starting that shit early, buddy. Starting that shit early.
Now it's just water.
We'll come back to it. What's going on, Paul? A bunch of Goldberg haters in here. I'm not a Goldberg hater.
No, absolutely not. He's had some good times.
What's shaking, everyone? Rand says, hey, yo, Devon, get the muffins. All right. Blackjack's here from Brisbane, Queensland,
Blackjack.
Australia. Can't hate on Goldberg for taking advantage of what was handed to him. Absolutely. I agree.
If I was handed a big paycheck like that, I would too.
Canada, Prince Edward Island. How's the weather out there tonight, Rand? Is it cold and rainy out like it is here in New York? Whew. Stone Cold wins that match. Best part.
That's
Just as the show came on, people got texting me, annoying me. Don't you hate the timing of some people? Absolutely. Would this match have been as widely panned if the news didn't leak that both Brock and Goldberg were leaving the company after the match? Very good point right there.
Absolutely, Derek.
100%. A great point.
I agree with you.
Jason says, first thing I like to do is pray for a music producer I know from Phoenix named E. Freeze. He's so talented. He was making a real name for himself worldwide. He shot himself Friday. He's on life support, and he's not going to survive. It's hard for me. He's a family man, successful, but he had some bad demons. Please pray for him and his family. Absolutely, man. Jeez, that's terrible to hear, brother. I'm sorry to hear about your friend, and he will be in our thoughts and prayers, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, for sure. I've been going through that with my family, so I completely understand, and I hope everything turns out okay.
Amen. This is one of the first matches where the internet community destroyed this match before it ever even happened. I know, and it should have been such a huge deal too that they had making it out to be.
Think of those three names in the ring, dude.
Yeah,
Goldberg and Stone Cold getting in the ring together. What was something that was never heard of or never was thought was going to happen. They got him in there as a special guest referee, which is the next best thing. And then you put Brock Lesnar in there. That's a marquee match. So not too sure why this thing bombed.
48 he is.
48, tender years old, Jude.
Shit, yeah.
Where's Rewind at?
He might be here soon. Say his name and he appears usually. So
Rewind,
where are you? After Backlash is the AAA card in LA. That's going to be a fucking banger of a card, I think, between them and the NXT brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You were telling me before we got on the air. That's why we were a little bit late. We were having some laughs and joking around and everything. Yes, El Grande Americano is the best in the business.
He is the GOAT right now from the Gulf of America.
Yeah, dude, that guy. He's a world champion now.
Absolutely.
He won the Speed Championship.
It's okay. He's going to win the WWE Championship one day.
He's going to bring it home to the Gulf of America.
He will.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that.
He'll put it on the mark.
Yeah, he's going to bring that shit fucking home real good.
For sure.
Yeah, so you've been watching the product regularly. What's your thoughts been? I haven't been, so you just tricked me before we came on the air tonight like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You were saying Jey Uso got beat up by a fan, so I went and looked it up. Attention, it was that piece of shit Logan Paul.
Yep. Yeah, he should be a fanboy though. I hate him.
Oh, what a fucking putz he is.
Yeah, Logan Paul ain't gonna get no love. The Paul brothers as a whole don't get no love on this show.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Anyways, yeah, I've been watching it regularly, man. I know you and I have been saying for a long time that WWE is hard to follow. The wrestling product as a whole, for how saturated it is hard to follow nowadays. But I have been watching it regularly and making it a point to watch Raw every week because, let's be honest, dude, we do a podcast on it, so we need to at least give it a solid attempt, So I've been trying to do it again and watch it, and I'm used to, I would think it was regurgitated shit. And now I don't feel that way. I actually enjoy watching it. The production level has gone up since they've mixed, businesses with TKO and the UFC and stuff like that. Production level is great. So I've been enjoying it.
Logan Paul is a jabroni. that he is. Jeremy said it's Worlds Collide and then Money in the Bank. They're on the same day in LA. All right. Wow. Who do you think who's your long shot to win Money in the Bank this year? Who you going with if you're going to pick a Money in the Bank winner?
Jeez. Putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man, because you had who wanted Priest last year?
Yeah, I think it was Priest. No,
Priest.
Was it? No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Priest.
It was Gunther won it last year.
Gunther won it last year?
Yeah, I think Gunther was it because he cashed in on him. I think at SummerSlam.
I thought it was Judgment Day. It was Priest, though, wasn't it?
He was the year before, I think. Somebody helped us out here. I think it was Gunther last year.
I think you're right. It was Gunther.
Yeah,
it was Gunther. Damn. I don't know. It's a throw up this year, dude. I really don't know. I'm hoping that Braun Breaker gets it, and I think that it would be an interesting storyline if they have Seth Rollins be the champion and Gunther kind of Braun Breaker kind of turn on him. So I'm hoping Braun Breaker gets it, dude.
Derek's with you. He says Braun Breaker wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it this year.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable for him.
If not, then do it on Dominic.
Absolutely.
I'd be super fucking happy. If Pentagon Jr. gets it, I'd be happy if he got it.
Dom would be my top choice to win, and then I'd go Braun Breaker. But that's
Pentagon's got some momentum behind him, dude. But I think he's going to go the tag team route with his brother. So we'll see.
Roman wins the Money in the Bank. Only thing is he hasn't won. Priest won Money in the Bank only. All right. I don't think Roman's winning it this year.
No.
I don't think he needs to. You can always build some big storyline for the tribal chief. All right. Jude says
you got bigger plans for him.
Braun Breaker, women's is going to be Becky Lynch. Oh God.
Oh, can we stop with the?
Give it to Jade Cargill at least.
Yeah. Somebody
new.
Shocked me with that. You know?
God, I've never been a Becky Lynch fan.
So predictable nowadays.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
It's either Charlotte or Becky. Charlotte or Becky. Charlotte or Becky.
They're always chasing, and then you put Bayley in some nonsense fucking match eventually, where she just gets jobbed out. Always, you know.
Right.
Come on. Sean's going with Hornswoggle to win Money in the Bank.
Sean, you might be right, man. It could be. Could be his doo-doo chocolate fingers.
Dude, that little creepy bastard would come back and do it. Hit him with the shillelagh, climb up and grab that fucking thing.
I'm all for the Irishman winning the title.
McIntyre won Money in the Bank, and Punk cost him the title that match. There you go. Gunther won the King of the Ring to get a title match. Thank you.
There you go.
There it is right there.
McIntyre.
Cool. Sean, don't even curse this right here.
Natalia.
If she wins the Money in the fucking Bank, I am fucking boycotting any women's matches for the remainder of 2025. If Natty Neidhart wins Money in the Bank, I will not watch another women's match in the WWE.
Sean, you just lit a fuse that you don't.
I will fucking refuse if they give her Money in the Bank.
Yeah, if John wasn't watching the product regularly as it is, if she wins that, dude, it's over.
You'll lose me for fucking
We'll never get him back. We'll never get him back.
No,
you'll be stuck watching fucking soccer.
No, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. No way. Chelsea Green, I would actually be a big fan of doing it for you.
Chelsea Green would be great. Yeah, she would. She's over like Rover too. She should do it.
Jason says Cargill's the female Mark Henry.
Damn, Jason's coming with the heat, dude.
Yeah, she's going to be leading the delegation on the women's side.
Yeah, you know? Mark Henry's got to. Henry's got to talk to the delegation first.
Yeah, he's got to talk to them and see if they're going to let Jade Cargill into the secret group. You know, the winner of the Money in the Bank cashes in on Cena, his last day in the company. That could be interesting.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That could be interesting. I'm all about Chelsea Green, though, Jude. I think she'd be a great pick.
I think she should win it.
Yeah, she's over as hell with the crowd, too. So when is Natty going to be a guest on Wrestling with Reality? A shoot ran off between me and her. If anybody can arrange Natty Neidhart to come on the show, I tell you right now, you get her on the show, and I'm going to tell her why.
I'll be the referee.
Yeah, I'm going to tell her why I absolutely can't stomach her style through the years. Okay? Unfiltered.
There is not enough episode time in the fucking world for you to have that episode with her.
Oh,
there's
fuck.
Just not.
Bro, I would not hold back.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you know, and it would be the funniest fucking thing I have ever seen.
Do I ever hold back on anything? You know me personally too. Do I ever hold my mouth and my tongue on anything?
No, it would be funnier than shit, man. I would pay to see that.
Get her on. Tell her
we would have to charge $5 a head to watch that. And you get a red Dixie cup that says John can't chug beer.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. We'll have Natty and Richie in the main event and a chug off. And Natty's gonna drink you under the table, I bet, bro.
She does have kind of a beer gut, doesn't she?
Dude, you drink like a bitch, and she is one, so.
You got me back. Cheers.
All right, here we go. Fucking Natty. Derek says Roxanne Perez. I could get behind that too, Derek. She's a really good young talent.
Yeah, for sure.
She's my flavor too. Everybody who knows me knows I love Asian women. Like that's my thing. So
yep.
Roxanne
you're a Neo Sky girl. Guy.
I'm not as big with Japanese as I am with Filipinos. I love Filipinos. So you know, it's just my thing. You know, like my ex-wife is Filipino and you know, my fiance is Filipina. So I love Asian women. I think they're just beautiful. I travel all around the damn world in Asia. It's my favorite country in the world. That Roxanne Perez, woo, she is hot. She's no fucking Natty Neidhart. She's not a bum like her.
Oh, Jesus.
Natty versus
shouldn't have got on this
review.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, she's got my kryptonite in a move though, Sean. She hits me with the sharpshooter with my knee. It's over.
Yeah, you're done, bro. You're done.
I don't know, man. She might take me on that one. The sharpshooter's my kryptonite.
Although John's patented titty twister, man, that'll get you tapping.
Dude, that's the atomic titty twister I'd get. She's got big enough ones too. So
yep. That's
careful, John. Tyson Kidd's gonna jack you. You know, I'm really not worried about Tyson Kidd.
All you gotta do is karate chop him in the neck. He'll be all right.
Maybe he'll bring that stupid haircut back where he just shaved his whole head and had a point of hair.
Dude, you almost have that going on there.
I was about to say that was my second part of him. Lord knows my hair's short enough and bad enough as it is, let alone, for me to be able to make fun of that goofball. I'm not worried about him, Jeremy.
Yep.
Derek said she was a badass on Bloodsport. Did she get the shit kicked out of her? Because that's the only way I'm watching it.
She was on Bloodsport?
Yeah, she did it on WrestleMania.
They gave her permission. You're like, no, you fucking suck.
Jude says Tyson Kidd just got hurt even making that comment, Jeremy.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, those are some good picks though for Money in the Bank winners. I could see all those for the men and the women. They had a bunch of releases last week. Did you see that big list of releases?
So who was the biggest name? I know Braun Strowman was on there. Who else was on it?
I'd have to say for me, the biggest names on there is probably for the men is Braun Strowman. There's a bunch of bums from NXT I've never even heard of, so I really don't know anything about him.
My understanding was Braun Strowman's was because his contract was too high.
It is, and he has paralysis in his leg, so he can't wrestle a full-time schedule anymore. So it came out today in wrestling from one of the dirt sheets that he's going to be working on like a 3 or 4 month at a time thing with them. He's just not going to be there full time. So they couldn't justify paying him his full-time salary because his body just can't handle it. But he's able to commit to coming back for certain storylines throughout the year that, maybe last 3 or 4 months. And then he takes some time off,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see if he comes back or not.
I mean, how many times can you say get these hands and it'd be the same fucking thing over and over again?
He's had some good matches with Bronson Reed, and he had some good matches with Jacob Fatu. So, he serves a purpose as a big man. So,
sure.
I don't know. I wasn't really that bummed out about it or anything. I'm not like a fucking Braun Strowman fan by any means.
Oh,
but
no, I'm not going to hear him say, get these fucking hands.
Hands. No. The women, I think the biggest surprises to me that they released and didn't really give more of a shot to was a couple of NXT girls. One was that Cora Jade. I thought she had a little bit of an upside to her. I could have seen her on the main roster. I don't really understand why she was released. And the other one was one they never seemed to just run with like they should have, was Gigi Dolan to me.
Yeah. I couldn't believe they let her go.
She's a sexy girl too.
Woo. Yeah. I couldn't believe they let her go, man. That was one that they invested quite a bit into as well. So
I don't really see a reason why either. I mean, she was in that really good faction, Toxic Attraction, with Mandy Rose, and who was the other girl in it? I forget.
I can't remember.
Might have been Cora Jade too. I think it was Cora Jade.
Maybe that's why they got rid of him.
I don't know. And then she was in some other faction recently. I guess I don't watch NXT, so I can't act like I pretend what goes on there. Just from what I hear,
that crowd is just the worst when you watch NXT.
They can be obnoxious.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Asian women. Beautiful.
All right.
So Scott Hall. I was disappointed Gigi was released, Jeremy said.
I'm sure Rewind's got a few Asian stories as well.
Yeah. When are they going to release the Wyatt 6 since they fucked that storyline up?
Dude, they shit the bed on that. My God.
Yeah, Dakota Kai was a little bit of a surprise to me too, Derek. They were doing some stuff with her. So Sonya was released a long time ago, Jeremy. She was released months ago. Nobody's missed her since she's been gone.
No.
I had a few good. Okay.
All righty. All right.
Leave sex stories off here.
Let's. We're not the. Yeah. This is the Taxi Cab Confessions, bud. Jesus Christ.
We'll go some places, but that's one I don't go with on there. Yeah. We'll just say they're fun. There we go.
Family friendly here.
Wyatt 6 though, man, they have just been the fucking worst, bro.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest fumbles. It's kind of ironic because they did the same thing with Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend character. Mm-hmm. They fumbled it with that Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. It was god awful. So they did the same thing with Wyatt 6. There he is.
Taxi Confessions, my kind of party.
What's up, Rewind? Hey, buddy.
Good point, though. Rewind tells some pretty crazy shit on here sometimes.
Absolutely.
So everybody has a right to say it. on here
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
You
Gotta
know?
give them their fair shake.
Yeah, everybody gets
No pun intended there.
their fair shot of it. How did we know when something perverted was being
Yeah,
discussed?
Rewind pops the fuck.
He pops right up for the first time as soon as something perverted is discussed.
Oh my god, perfect timing, guys. Perfect timing.
Oh, I loved it, man. I love it. Yeah, Shayna, she was released. That doesn't surprise me though.
Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, she was released.
Fuck it. You know, how many times are you gonna try and jam that lady down our throat? She's horrible.
She's
Remember
like,
that? Wasn't that one? Is she the one that was like biting people or something?
yeah,
like
yeah, that was her
bit?
thing, that she was biting
What in
people
the
and shit.
fuck was that?
It
Like,
was pretty fucking goofy.
that was almost as bad as the fucking animatronic spider with fucking Redbeard.
No, nothing was as bad as that shit, bro.
Ooh.
Laza wants to hear a Asian story with Rewind one day. Yeah, okay.
Oh boy.
I'm sure he'll tell one, Laza.
Oh
if he's
boy,
had
I think
one.
we found Laz's fucking.
Okay, he's got a fetish for it. Me and New York Cowboy John and Dirty Richie in the back of a cab sounds like my kind of a Wednesday
Bring the
night.
lotion, Rewind. Bring the lotion. Good lord.
I think she's a dude. Have they checked? She might be.
Could be.
Could be. I mean, people were like in an uproar about it. They were like, "Oh, Shayna Baszler, she's 45 fucking years old too, man.
Who gives a shit?
If she hasn't gotten over by now, it ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
No,
it ain't gonna happen. Her NXT days where she was beating the fuck out of everybody are over. Like, it's done.
I'm sure she made a boatload of money, and she's gonna do just fine on signing.
Off the sunset, and she'll do signings. She'll do
some indie appearances.
Yeah, indie appearances and shit like that. It'll be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Good riddance.
The zombie lumberjacks was worse than the spider. Man, that's pretty close, but I got to give that spider as the worst ever.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as the Yeti fucking humping somebody in the ring.
The Yeti was more entertaining than that spider shit. Who was writing at that time? Was it Vince?
That was bad.
Was that Vince writing?
I hope to God it wasn't Mick Foley's son, because dude, that was terrible. That was fucking horrible.
I'm not gonna put this last one that Laza talked about on here.
Oh, come on, just do it. Just do it. I gotta read it. Come on. Oh my God.
Jude's got the comment of the night. So Laza, Scott
Hall, though. Good God.
Oh, it's off the fucking shit. It's off the hook tonight.
Off the rail. Yeah.
It has, man. So let's get to how bad was it?
Yeah.
Was it really that bad?
Was this really poo?
Yeah. Is it really the Hershey squirts? But really, was it really that bad?
Look at Austin's face. He looks like he's taking a poo.
Bro, he looks like he's squeezing out on
Brock too.
Yeah. Dude, what about Goldberg?
Goldberg's face, dude.
Goldberg's got the constipated look, like he can't fucking get shit out and he's mad.
Good
Brock
Lord.
just laid a big dookie like an upper decker.
He's happy about it.
Yep. And
Austin's smelling it. Everybody found what the Rock's cooking. Oh God.
Wow.
Terrible.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard right now.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
But this match, man. When was the last time you actually watched this match? Was it when it came out, or was it recently?
I actually watch WrestleMania 20 annually. Not anally, but annually.
Why? Why do you love this WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 20 was great, dude. When Undertaker came back that year, it was amazing. I loved it.
Okay. Was this the one where Cena took on the Big Show?
Yeah, he opened it with the United States title match.
Yeah, and he wins the title, right?
Yep.
He gave the F5 to the Big Show or something like that.
Yeah,
not the F5.
Chris Benoit won his heavyweight title. Eddie Guerrero had the moment with him in the end of the
when the confetti's all coming down, right?
Yep. It was a really good one.
It was Benoit versus Triple H main event?
Benoit, Triple H, and HBK.
Okay. Yep. I haven't watched this in years for that match alone, just because we never do any Chris Benoit stuff on here typically. So I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm a huge fan of his work. I'm not condoning what he did and stuff like that, but what he did in the ring was legendary. And unfortunately, bad stuff happens with mental health and people in reality and life. And bad shit happened. Yeah, 100%. Do you smell what Brock is cooking?
God, that picture definitely.
I'm glad they redeemed themselves at WrestleMania 33 in a rematch.
And it was a good one at that. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, this WrestleMania had the greatest ending.
It
Yeah,
did.
it was kind of a, when I think about it now, for that moment, I can remember the confetti coming down and them hugging. Both of them had the world championships.
Yep.
Because Eddie was in that match with Brock this year, right?
Eddie was against Kurt Angle that year.
Kurt Angle, yeah, because he beat Brock the month before for the title.
Correct. And Kurt Angle and him had the finish where he kicked the boot off while he was doing the ankle lock. Yeah.
Yep, because Brock is in with Goldberg in this one.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. I don't remember how Brock and Goldberg ended up coming to fight each other. Do you remember the storyline that linked that up?
I do. Both of them went to Raw, I believe, and then Austin gave Goldberg a ticket to go follow Brock and then cost him the title. It was something with the Royal Rumble. I think Goldberg got eliminated in the Royal Rumble, and then Goldberg cost Brock the championship, and then they ended up facing off because they were both leaving the company. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't remember much of the build up to it. I remember it seemed kind of rushed. It sounded like that. Yeah,
it was. It was a good storyline, though. You know, they were both juiced to the gills at this point, so it was like a colossal match of these two big giants that were unstoppable. Who's going to win? But it shit the bed when that Madison Square Garden crowd found out what was happening and them leaving after this match, they ate them the fuck up.
Oh,
it was bad. It was real bad.
It was bad as
so. Even if it was going to be a 5-star jerk off match, totally, dude. They ate it alive.
Derek says greatest triple threat ever. Sad they never talk about it anymore because of Benoit.
Yeah, yep. A lot of moments robbed in history. I mean, look at Kurt Angle's career. A majority of it you can't even talk about or show because all his best matches were against Benoit, pretty much.
Yeah, he had a ton of good ones at this point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, everybody knows what happened in the tragedy and how awful that was. But
sure.
Man, Benoit, wrestling wise, he was always must see to watch for me.
One of the best to ever do it.
Unless he was taking on Kevin Sullivan over and over again, that shit got old. Oh man,
yeah, that was bad. You try and go back and watch that. You want to talk about was it really that bad? That was really that bad.
Brock has my vote as a member of the group of 100 to face this gorilla everyone talks about. I'd take 100 Brock Lesnar's in there with me in a fight against a gorilla, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd take Goldberg and Brock for sure.
So these two, when they get back together years later, actually had some really cool moments together. So I think they really made it right with the storyline.
They had to.
Yeah,
that was stewing. You could tell when they did the documentary behind the scenes, Goldberg really had a chip on his shoulder, and even Brock for that matter. And they really had to right this wrong in history, wrestling history. And I think they did. I think the storyline that they did was pretty freaking amazing. It made Goldberg look amazing. It really did. Being as old as he was and kind of losing that spark that he had, he really did well. He really did well in this.
And he really changed his attitude around a lot from when, he left and being that kind of bitter old prick that people thought he was for all those years. And that
he hated the wrestling business. He wasn't a wrestling fan. He thought fans were nerds and marks and shit like that. And he wouldn't dress with the boys in the locker room or hang out with anybody. He would always just be the smug punk that thought he was better than everybody else. He would leave before the show was over, that kind of thing. I mean, it was just Goldberg thought he was a hero in his own mind.
Yeah. It was good to see that they both did such good business with one another. And I found it really crazy to think when you go back and look at how they, when they brought it back at that Survivor Series moment, I thought it was crazy that Brock would allow the squash after, the tear he had been on for all those years. And
it's very true. I mean, it kind of shows you how much respect he had for him to allow that. So,
and then put him over again at the Rumble, and let him take him out of the Rumble.
And Brock, I mean, really, he didn't have to do that.
No, not at all.
He really didn't. He was calling the shots as far as because Vince McMahon pretty much said, whatever Brock wants, Brock gets.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's when people started getting really pissed off at him because he was a part-time worker. The championship wasn't there for 3 months at a time, and it probably wasn't a good idea.
I hate to cut you off, man, but my favorite Brock moment was the Brock Party when he'd come out with the
boombox.
Yeah, dude, that shit was
man.
hilarious. I love Brock Party.
When they let him kind of be himself, and he's naturally funny, when he does stuff. Like you really want to like
over, old man.
Yeah.
When he said that to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Like he's actually pretty fucking funny when you let him go a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't know anything about those allegations against him. I'm not going to get into that as a person.
They were dropped.
Yeah.
There's not enough evidence, like we said was going to happen.
Yep, it's and everybody's always guilty until proven innocent, instead of innocent until proven guilty. So
which is a shame because we've really missed out on the prime of Brock's career. The end of it there.
think
So,
of a him and Gunther match. How fucking awesome
him
that
and
was!
Gunther, there's so many monsters they could feed to him right now. I wanted to see him go against AJ Styles. I thought that would be a cool match, but
There's a ton of them
we'll
for
never
him.
see it.
So Lazarus says off the top of my head, Kurt Angle versus Benoit, Lesnar, Joe Styles were some of his greatest ones. Yeah, good picks there.
Yep.
Good picks. Only 5-star jerk-off matches, Richie, are Taz matches. Did you have a poster of Taz above your bed too?
Absolutely. Well, hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. I got
Oh.
something for you, Rewind.
He's got a good one here. Look at it. He's got his hook card.
Baby, you got me hooked.
Look at that. He keeps it close by all the
Close
time.
by all the time, Rewind.
You
It's not
changed
far
his
away.
mind on
that meant
on
that meant a
Taz.
lot to me.
Yeah, you changed his mind on it. Jude says Brock was getting a big paycheck. That's why. Absolutely. Brock isn't doing shit for cheap. Jeremy says, honestly, Goldberg's best work in the WWE was with The Rock and Triple H. I would agree.
I'll say The Rock with Triple H. I was actually there live in the Elimination Chamber when they were having that storyline. You could tell that Goldberg was that was the beginning of the end for him. He was getting pissed with how he was booked, and in a lot of ways, yeah, they let him have the heavyweight title, but they made Goldberg look pretty bad there, just like all the other WCW guys. So.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't like the old Goldberg that ran through everybody for, like 2 years on WCW television.
Right.
He got humbled a little bit by the WWE machine, and he didn't like it.
He did. He didn't at all.
And he didn't like it. But, he went on to have a successful life outside of it. So it wasn't like he didn't do anything outside of it. The guy's
TV shows, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, set for the rest of his life. He ain't worrying about shit, No. He's going to be just fine.
Yep.
Well, let's get into this match. If you guys want to watch along with us, we're going to watch along to WrestleMania 20, the Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar match with Austin as a special guest referee. We're going to watch on Peacock, but if you watch somewhere else, it's up to you. So the timestamp for it on Peacock, if you guys want to watch it, is 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 44 seconds. So that's where we're going to start it at tonight.
Oh,
2 hours.
Hang on 1 second. I got to get logged back in here. Time me out.
You're fine, dude. Take your time. But I'll give it again to everybody. 2 hours and 11 minutes and 44 seconds. I'll give you guys a minute or so while Richie gets loaded up to, if you're going to watch along with us, to watch it on Peacock. I'm sure it's available on YouTube too. So it's probably easy to find on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and this is one of Austin's coolest moments as far as an entrance is concerned because, dude, I'm telling you, that whole stage lights up with that badass 316 skull, and it's a cool sight to see.
The Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam made Goldberg look like a monster. He eliminated everyone quickly until Triple H.
Yeah, I was there live for that one.
Brock and AJ had a match at Survivor Series 2017. Yeah, it was a good match. I remember that one.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, good match. It was a good match. Good point.
I just clicked on Everybody Loves Raymond on accident. I don't think we're doing
right. I love Everybody Loves Raymond. You ever watch that show?
Oh, absolutely, dude. That and King of Queens are my shit.
Oh, yeah. You can see on there, too, on my queue. You can see King of Queens on there, too. I always go to that one. Mm-hmm. Jerry Stiller is one of the funniest dudes ever. And I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Frank Costanza. Serenity now! Just tell me when you're good, buddy.
Right. Brother.
All right, everybody. If you want to watch along with us on Peacock, you can join along. Once again, it's 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 44 seconds. Richie, you ready to roll, brother?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to click the play button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit that button now. Oh, yeah, that's cool with the screens
One
like
of the
that.
Best. Oh, my God. It's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
I have that T-shirt. That shirt was badass with the Confederate flag on the back and the beers and shit. The fuck fear, drink beer.
He's got the ATV out here. He's not going to slam into the barrier this time.
He didn't crash it this year.
Yeah. God, I love Stone Cold.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah, how great was Stone Cold this time? And look who we got on there, the Fink. Is there anything
God rest his soul.
Yeah, is there anything like a Fink announcement for the matches?
I was just watching Legends House last night, and he was in such good spirits, man. It just sucks to see that the Fink's gone, Yeah.
Look at that crowd. Woo! That's a packed house in MSG, buddy.
What a match.
Yep.
I don't know. This match gets a lot of hate, dude. Gets a lot of fucking hate.
Boy, he's getting some boos already. Here comes Brock Lesnar coming out
Here
first.
comes Brock. Yeah, he is. This crowd's a smart crowd, man.
Yeah, they don't like his ass. This is before that big, ugly
He's
fucking
jacked.
tattoos he got, bro.
Yep. You don't like the sword of Damocles that he has on his chest?
No. It's terrible. Do you like it?
It's okay. The meaning behind it is what I like.
What's the meaning behind it?
So the sword of Damocles is basically everybody turns on you, and he was presented with this sword. Basically, he got to have, his comeuppance or whatever, and with that sword, and so that was kind of why Brock got it. It's the sword of Damocles. It's
Okay.
Greek mythology if you look it up.
I'll have to look that up then.
Yep.
Best entrances to this WrestleMania was Kane and The Undertaker. Kane's fire looked like the city was burning. Yeah, that's cool. Bobby the Brain, miss him. Absolutely, Laza.
Yep.
Match would have been better had Heyman been a part of it. Yeah. It's always kind of better when Paul's a part of it, right?
Paul Heyman's a fucking G, man. He makes everything good. Goldberg's song sucked in WWE.
It's different a little bit, right?
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the WCW one.
It seems like they altered it a little bit. God, he looks miserable.
Did he headbutt the door? Yeah, he does.
Not this one, I don't think. He didn't headbutt the door coming out here. He didn't want to get his 90th. Yeah, he didn't want to get his 90th concussion right before he was leaving.
Let me pin this asshole and get out of here.
God, he looks pissed.
Stone Cold looks jacked there, dude.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He's still in great shape, Austin. At least Goldberg didn't get lost coming out.
Yeah. He's got a knee brace himself.
Yeah. They didn't even give him an escort out this time. They didn't give a shit either.
No.
You think they were happy to get rid of him at this point?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was a smug asshole during this time.
That is a really cool stage, though.
Yeah. WWE used to have some fire stages. They don't anymore.
You can't lie and say that shit wasn't cool when he'd come out with all the laser or with all the smoke and shit and everything and all the fireworks going off for him.
It was one of the best entrances ever. Yeah, go shit was legit.
Lesnar and Steve Austin, two Paul Heyman guys, and Goldberg's and Eric Bischoff guy. I don't know if they're guys, Ran. Bischoff didn't seem to like him too much in WCW. Goldberg has some nice calves. I'm not going to lie. Jude says, I rewatched this yesterday to make sure it was as bad as I remember, and it wasn't. It was worse. If Goldberg returns, they should give an American football attire headgear included. So, yeah, maybe so he doesn't knock himself out.
That would have been funny.
Boy, he's cussing at him already.
Come on, assholes, let's go.
Let's get this shit done.
Yeah,
Got $1 million after this.
Goldberg says, fuck them.
Boy, the crowd is brutal on them already, bro.
I think they should have made Bret Hart a special guest referee. Would have been a lot better.
Listen to them, bro. You sold out. Boy, they're loud about that.
Interfered.
Hey, Richard, you're a little delayed. You might want to back up and come back in.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to back out and come back in, okay?
It's better now.
Just come out and come back into the stream. Too much standing around to start this match. It's kind of like they're giving the fans right here, Jude. It's like they're giving them acknowledgement of what they're saying because the fans are smartened up to what's going on. And you can see these two just probably pisses them off, in my opinion. It is not, buddy. I'm going to kick you off and then just come back in, okay? I'm going to kick you off. Just come back in. And they shouldn't have recognized the crowd chants. That gave them more juice. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. They're acknowledging it right now. Who was that ref that did the quick count of the Hogan Sting match? They should have had him. Yeah, what was his name? Was it? Oh my God, what was it? It wasn't Randy Anderson. Nick Patrick. Yeah, it was Nick Patrick. I don't know why I forgot about Nick. We had him on the show I think it was last year or so. Yeah, too much standing around. Whoever mentioned that, I think it was Jude. Just not smart. It's like they didn't know really how to react to the crowd, how they're kind of shitting on them right here. Either these two didn't care or they just really didn't know how to react to this, because Goldberg was always such a mark for himself, especially that he always thought everybody should be cheering him. The crowd wants Austin to just stun the shit out of Goldberg, man. Hey, buddy.
Better?
Yeah, better now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Laz, that was Nick Patrick. That was that ref. What a legend Nick is.
Nick Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a jam-up guy he is as well.
I think he's your favorite, isn't he? As far
Absolutely.
as concerned.
We had him on the show, I think, about a year or so ago.
Yep.
Good guy. Good guy. Greatest ref ever. Better than that piece of shit, Earl Hebner.
What? I can't go that far.
Fuck Earl.
Why is that?
Because Nick's the GOAT, not the WWE referee. All right, Nick is the GOAT.
Come on. I forgot. I beat you in WCW trivia, didn't I?
No, I kicked the shit out of you on that one.
I beat you in WWE trivia. That's right.
Yeah, I think that was the one you beat me on. I kicked your ass on everything WCW, theme songs, trivia.
Hold on, I won the theme song one. You can't take credit for that one.
I beat your ass on more than I lost on. I do remember that, minus the beer drinking.
That's true. So it's 3 for 3, I think. So
I think we're right around there. I think we are tied. So when we do our next competition night in the next couple of weeks, we'll come up with a good one. That'll be our tiebreaker for the time being.
Yep.
Look at Brock just taunting Goldberg.
It's a good for all intents and purposes, this was pretty intense in the beginning here. So
I mean, it's got to be disconcerting when they're booing the shit out of you and everything you do because they know you're not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't get any momentum going because the fans hijacked the show.
Match would have been better with more interaction from Austin.
I agree, Jude. I agree.
I think we're about to see a little bit more of why that should be, like you said, like you mentioned, Jude. So Charles Robinson is the GOAT. He is a great one, Jason. I still got to go with Nick, but he's pretty damn great. They were working like a sumo match in Mockery. It's both Lesnar and Goldberg were leaving. They didn't care. Yeah,
it's true. That's
Tommy
exactly
Young is the GOAT. Tommy Young is good, but he's not the GOAT. Nick Patrick. Earl Hebner's Twitter during his TNA days was fucking wild, Rewind says.
What's your timestamp of the match?
2 hours and 20 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay.
The crowd is just not giving these guys a shot to even get started, though, right?
They're not giving them a chance at all, and that's why it was so bad.
Yeah. Like, you could try to have the greatest match in the world, but if you have a crowd that just hates everything you're going to do no matter what, it's not going to work.
They hijack it. Yeah. They hijack it, and then these two guys' egos are so big that they're like, fuck this crowd. We're not even doing it then. We'll make a mockery of it. That's exactly what they did.
Boy, they're booing at a shoulder block like it's like they're just the worst people in the world.
Right. Brock Lesnar does have a great kick to the gut, though.
Yeah. Brock's not a bad worker in the ring at all to me. I never had a problem with a Brock Lesnar match. Did you?
No, I really didn't. Goldberg has definitely hurt some people, and I've had issues with his wrestling ability, but Brock Lesnar is a pro.
They're going nose to nose right now. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you give the video a nice thumbs up on there, please. We'd greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Please do.
Jimmy Corderas is a decent referee. He is very good, Lorenz. I always enjoyed Jimmy Corderas and Mike Chioda in the ring. They were always really good.
Yeah, and Drake Warts, too. Got to give him an honorable mention.
Oh, yeah, he's tremendous. He's a talent. Very successful talent, too.
Very successful podcaster right here.
Yeah, I think he's back to doing death matches again.
Great show called Uncanceled?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I think he's doing death matches again. Nice. Who's your all-time favorite referee other than a Nick Patrick or an Earl Hebner? Who do you got?
Oh man, if I got to pick somebody besides those two guys, probably Tim White. Tim White was a good
Good
one.
pick. Tim's a great pick. Man, Tim White would be up there for me. I got to go for my after a Nick Patrick for me. I'm gonna go with Charles Robinson, Little Nate.
Little Nash was good. Yep.
Yeah, I got to go with Little Nate. He was fantastic. Jesus, Goldberg just about fucking broke Lesnar's ribs on that move.
Yeah, he did.
He's going for the spear again now, and the crowd is shitting all over this.
Yeah, they are. It's bad, dude.
They
It's
want
real bad.
Austin to just stun these two. They're just waiting for Austin to stun him.
And it's not that bad of a match, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm being honest, if you were to book these two like they did later on, it's really not that bad of a match.
It's not that sloppy.
No, it's just
I'm
the
not saying
crowd
it's-
hates these two fucks.
I'm not saying it's a fucking classic or anything like that, but it's
No.
not that bad.
But it's a Brock Goldberg match. It's what you would expect.
Tim got retired in Hell in the Cell. Yeah, he got hurt bad in there. John Finnegan, Rewind says, from ECW was a great referee.
Yeah, he was.
See the bald guy that looks like a child molester? Is that
Speaking
him?
of that, I don't know if we went over the breaking news or not, but
with
Duke
Duke
Drowsy. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
That sucks so bad. And we've talked to him before and shit.
I had
and,
you. I had the Mike is his name, Mike Drosy. I had
Yeah.
Mike on the show. I don't know, about 4 years ago.
that
was a
sucks
super-
so bad.
Yeah, it was a super nice guy, and I'll say everybody's innocent until proven guilty, man. But
And I'm hoping that he comes out the other side and it's not true, because
I
that's
hope
one of
not.
the worst case scenarios that somebody could be that way.
dude, it's unredeemable.
It is. And if he is the scumbag that they're saying that he is, I hope that he gets the full extent of punishment by the law and street justice on the inside.
Yeah, man, that was no. There's no coming back from that one with me.
No, no,
Ever.
no.
It's
That's
sick,
a
it's
rabid
deviant.
dog, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's sick. It's deviant, and it's wrong.
When you steal a kid's innocence like that, dude, there's
Yeah.
no going
Yeah.
back. There's no going back.
I hope to God it's not true, but
Me
you
too.
never know. I mean, he was a super nice guy when we had him on, and he actually popped on the stream a few times and has joined us through the years, watching shows and everything like that. So sucks to see if that's true. I hope I hope he gets prosecuted to the fullest extent if it's
Yep,
true.
Me too.
You
Me
know,
too.
and if he's innocent, let him get his legal opportunity. Innocent
Yep.
until proven guilty.
That's right. Damn.
Remember when
Brock
RVD's
Beast.
manager in ECW was a ref in WCW? I remember he was the ref.
Bill Alfonso.
Yeah, Fonzie. I was
He
just
was a
seeing
ref.
he was on the Dark Side of the Ring for this week that I watched about Billy Jack Haynes.
Dude, I need to go through and watch the Dark Side of the Ring. I haven't watched probably since the Buff Bagwell episode.
Season 6 has been okay. I'm not gonna say it's been great. The Billy Jack Haynes one from last night, I watched it tonight.
Was it good?
It's fucking out there, man. It's weird.
Is it as goofy as fucking Buff Bagwell was a lot to take in with the whole mom shaving his nuts thing and all that. I'm just like, dude.
The Billy Jack one is more dark,
Okay.
and it's like you're trying to deviate what this crazy bastard is, if he's telling the truth on some of this stuff or not. And it's bizarre. It really is.
Yeah.
Really bizarre stuff. Brian Hildebrand has passed away, now trained under Dominic DeNucci and the likes of Mick Foley. Did great work in Smoky Mountain, WCW, etc. Yeah, I remember they did a big benefit for him. I think it was one of Pillman's last matches or something like that. Maybe he was there for, if I remember. I know they did a big benefit for him. I think Pillman was on it too. I know they did one for a big benefit for Pillman after he passed as well. Mav, what's going on, brother? Flying safe tonight. My partner for many years in the Air Force, Mr. Robert Kuhn, my brother.
Robert Kuhn.
My brother from a different mother. We had some good times. Rob could attest to the fucking booze that I could consume back in the day, though, Richie.
Man, well, those days have long passed.
Oh, buddy. Our year that year, let me tell you, I had a drankier young ass under the table. Now I'm just an old man who drinks a soda pop. That's it.
Yeah.
The manager of the Stars, the man who calls it down the middle, the great Bill Alfonso. See, Rob says, yes, I can. We drank enough beer. Hey, Rob, remember the week that we got off from, I think it was New Year's week that we got off because we had worked for like 2 months straight when the president was coming in. And all we did for like 10 days straight was just get absolutely shit-faced and annihilated. Blackout drunk for like 10 days straight, man. Stories for days. Yep. The Gotti drop. Oh my God, the Gotti drop. Yes. Boy.
Dude, what a spear.
These are some stories that can get us all in trouble, buddy. Goldberg is trying here. It's just not working.
He is. Know? And it was cool to see him and Austin have a face-off moment.
I would have loved to have seen those two have a match against each other. Wouldn't you?
Sometimes I think I would, and sometimes I think that it's best, one of those things that it's best left to, a fantasy booking, because I don't know. Goldberg could have hurt Austin really, really bad, and I wouldn't want to see that,
I think they would have had good energy together. I really do.
They could have.
Yeah.
They could have. It would have to be a quick match.
Jason's going to the Dominican Republic. All right, all inclusive. Drink plenty for us. Jason, you have a good time, man.
Be safe, dude. Be safe on your trip.
Shoot, yeah, brother. Wish we could have we could time travel to see if Richie could hang with the Horsemen. You think you could have hung with the Horsemen?
Drinking wise, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I can drink, but hanging with the Horsemen, I don't know, dude. I don't know if anybody could do that.
Bro, you weren't hanging with Flair. None of us are, right? We can talk all that shit we want, like we were studs back in the day, but you weren't hanging with the limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling, dealing, alligator skin, shoot motherfucking Ric Flair.
I'll definitely be honest and say I'm not going down like Ric Flair. Like, no. I can drink, but I can't Ric Flair drink. I wouldn't want to.
It's like Wade Boggs from the one of the greatest professional baseball players ever for hitting. And Wade Boggs, they would tell stories about him that he could drink 104 beers in like a short sitting in a day.
Did Goldberg hit the jackhammer yet on yours?
No jackhammer yet. He just speared him.
Yeah.
I think Austin could polish his beers down in the day too. There's the jackhammer. Boom.
Yeah. Hits him. One, two, three.
Two. And thankfully it's over.
Yep. It wasn't a bad match, dude. Like, I'll give my opinion here in a second. This is a really great moment with Austin, though.
Yeah, Goldberg is just looking at the crowd. Some of them are clapping. Most of them are booing him.
He's like, fuck you. Fuck all.
That's all he wants to say is tell them to go fuck themselves. But is Austin going to give a stunner or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what happens here. Which it's a great moment for Austin. He stuns both of them, I think.
Jim Ross's commentary is just fucking stellar.
He was a GOAT, man. He was a GOAT. Even now with AEW, he's the only thing that I would tune in to watch when he was commentating then.
Man, he was so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
We sure did, Rob.
Brock's flipping Austin off. You don't do that, man.
No.
You don't do that. Oh, stunner.
Yep. Austin is giving Brock the stare down here.
Yep. Here comes
There's
the
flip off.
Goldberg.
Yep. He gave the crowd the fuck you, and now he gave it right to Austin.
Yep.
Dude, stunner.
Goldberg gets in and wants some beer with Austin.
Dude, Brock sold that pretty good.
He did.
He sends the crowd home happy for this match by giving Brock the stunner, drinking some beers, and giving him the big middle finger.
Yep.
Now Goldberg's coming in. He wants a cold one.
He wants a cold one. Watch how he drinks this beer. It's kind of like how you do.
Don't even start that shit, son. How about next week we drink a couple of quality beers on here and we see who's the fucking Susie?
I'm in.
He's drinking those Miller Lights. He's drinking that real fucking piss water.
I drink Coors Light. I can't drink that fucking Miller Light shit. I'll drink Miller High Life. I can't drink.
I love Miller High Life. I used to love MGD too.
Yeah.
The champagne of all beers, dude.
Absolutely. Miller High Life is good.
Dude, Goldberg is just not even drinking that. He's just splashing it on himself like he's taking a bath.
Yep.
Well, they get a toast. Look at him. He's gonna chug that. Whoop! Stunner.
Austin was the star in that match for sure.
100%. You had to send the crowd home happy for them just being pissed at these two. But you got to give credit to Brock and Goldberg going out and doing it.
Right.
I mean, they knew they were going to get eat up here by the crowd, and they still went out.
What do you think? I mean, what's your opinion on this match, man? Was it really that bad? Did you really not dig it? Do you think that they redeemed themselves later on? What'd you think?
I don't think it was as bad as people make it out to be. Like I really don't. And it wasn't great by any means, but I didn't find it to be that awful. I really didn't.
I didn't either. I mean, I wish we could have enough time on the show to watch the whole storyline and the build up to it and really comment on it. But I think they delivered. I think Stone Cold was the star in this for sure, as always. He always takes over everything. But, I didn't think this was that bad. I think that the crowd kind of hijacked the match and made it what it was. But I think had they not done that, I think it would have been a lot better. I don't think we would be saying how bad that match was.
This is what happens when the crowd hijacks something, man, and they can ruin something that could have been a little bit more special.
Sure.
I don't think it was a good idea to book it, though, with both of them going out, and especially, both of them leaving and everybody knowing that they were going to be leaving. Like, probably wasn't the best idea to book this match, in my opinion, because
they should have did separately. Had these guys go against other people
and put them over on the way out, and you could have built a star from it. Like if they weren't coming back, somebody else could have got put over. Who got put over from that? Austin. He was already over. He didn't need it.
He was already over.
Yeah.
It was a good feel-good moment. You got the stunner, you got the beer bash, you got so it was perfect for the moment, I think.
Stone Cold and Randy Orton, and that would have been a fun match.
I don't know who goes over in that.
RKO, baby. He's got to take the legend out. He's the legend killer.
I'm always biased, dude. I'm sorry.
I know you love Steve the most. I'd say if it was, if Austin did come back for another match and did it with a guy like Randy Orton, I think you got to put Randy over on it.
You know what I want us to do next on this series? And I got one for you. It'll be Undertaker versus Austin, Highway to Hell.
All right.
Those two always say how horrible that match was together and that they wish they would have done better. I want to kind of evaluate that and see if it was really bad.
Was it SummerSlam 98 or 97?
I think it was 97, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up and find that one. I don't remember that match at all either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one to go back and watch because they both say it was one of the worst matches of their career. And to say that with Stone Cold and The Undertaker in there, especially with the build that they had during that time, man, that was an incredible time to be a wrestling fan.
I felt like a lot of Undertaker's title runs were terrible to me when he was the champion.
The only ones that I liked was his early one that he had with the Winged Eagle belt, and then the one where, what was it? The one where he was the undisputed champ, but he was the biker. I think that was a good one where he was the heel Undertaker. So those were my two favorite Undertaker title runs.
He was boring the shit out of people from like 96 to 97 when he was having his championship runs in that time frame. Rand says that SummerSlam's 97. All right, thanks,
97.
Rand.
Okay.
He was boring the shit out of people, man. As a champion, he was dreadful. When they were getting the shit kicked out of them by WCW, because we've watched it so many. I mean, we have them in the archives here on the show. You can go back and check those old episodes out. We would bury a lot of the Undertaker stuff. He was often put as the opening act, and everybody else was more main event stuff than him. Austin and Bret Hart was more mainstream. When Vince started to come out and do his thing, it was more mainstream. Everybody was over the champion, and it was kind of sad to see that they were booking that way. But
yeah, for sure.
It was because it was so lackluster at that point.
It was. I agree.
Rock Triple H ladder match was the best.
Oh my God, that was. Yeah, that's an understatement. That was. God, man, I loved that time for DX. That was one of the best times to be a wrestling fan. Every time I think about it, it gives me goosebumps, dude.
I don't remember that, man. We have to go back and check that out one day.
Yeah, that was an incredible time to be a fan.
Brian says, yeah, underage in a bar watching that match.
For sure, dude.
Back in the days when they'd have the wrestling pay-per-views on the bars, I don't know if they still do anymore. I don't remember this match.
Yeah, they would. They would. It's crazy. I don't think they do.
I like the Boiler Room Brawl too, Lawrence. I thought that was a fun match between those two for the Boiler Room Brawl, and of course their Hell in a Cell match. Everybody knows about that.
Yep, for sure.
That was one of the episodes on Dark Side of the Ring this year. I had zero interest in it because I've seen it so many times. The story about it, it's like the screw job, talking about the screw job, or Bash at the Beach 2000.
You know every detail about it already to nauseam. You don't
want to see any more about it, but maybe some people enjoyed that. They might have liked it. The purple IC belt is fucking dope with Triple H.
Yes, it was. Rewind. Yes, it was. Great.
That was the days when they would, make the white belt still, the yellow belt, the orange one for the Warrior, the purple one. I mean, the IC title had some really cool designs on it back in the day.
It's one of the best belts to ever be invented, in my opinion. The new IC title, I can't stomach. I think it's god awful. I think they need to go back to the way they had it with the white IC belt.
I like the white IC belt the most. It's probably one of my favorite belts of all time.
Yeah,
I have a replica
sure.
right in my closet right now. That's how much I love that belt. Such a beautiful design and such a sleek design that they did.
Absolutely.
Lessa says in Australia they show both WWE and UFC at the bars.
Nice, dude.
Do they still show them in bars here all the time, Richie? I don't go out and or anything.
They show UFC. They don't show WWE, but WWE gets mentioned a lot. You know, so because it's WCW or WWE and UFC now. So,
gotcha. You got enough time to do some bring some people on after a break? All right,
Absolutely.
So let's take 10 guys. We'll take a 5 to 10 minute break and hit the bathroom up, and then I'll post the link up in the chat if you guys want to come on. Anything you want to talk about tonight, open forum. We'll probably go for like maybe 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So I'll post the link in the chat if you want to come on. I'll take a couple of people tonight. We can talk about whatever you want. So bring a topic you want to talk about. We'll hit it up then. Okay. So I just put the link in the chat. So if you want to come on, just got to click on that link. Just have good audio, please. So we can hear you clear. Make sure it's free from lots of sound problems or anything like that. It'll make it easier. So if you want to come on, great. If not, we'll shoot the shit on some other stuff after the break. But we'll say about 10 minutes, we'll be back. Okay. Sound good, Rich?
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in 10. Come on back. All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for a good piss break for everybody. I'll try to get everybody on. I don't know if I can get everybody on tonight, but I'll try to. I'll do my best. So let's bring on first the birthday boy. All right.
Yes.
We got to bring and pay homage to the man with the greatest
beautiful beard.
Oh, dude, he's got the best beard in the world, this guy. And he's 48 yesterday. Jude, what's up, man? Happy birthday, buddy.
What's going on?
Jude, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
What'd you do for your birthday? Anything fun and spectacular?
Absolutely nothing.
Good.
Went out to dinner yesterday evening, and that was it, man. That was it.
Nice. What'd you get?
That's good enough.
I got dinner, and I got jeans.
Nice.
Was yeah, that's about it. That's
Where'd
about
you go
it.
to dinner?
That's good enough.
Just a local place down the road here.
Nice.
Yeah,
Man.
local place. I like the local places, man. I don't like the chains and stuff like
Amen.
that. So yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind tonight, my friend?
You know what? I just was thinking the other day, I was just watching a product, and I tried watching AEW. I gave him a shot.
Wow.
Dude, it is the drizzling shits. It is so bad. Like, there's no storylines. There's no sustenance to any of it. It doesn't make sense.
So they haven't changed a bit.
They haven't changed at all. No shit. It's worse now. Because, like, watching it now, like, MJF, dude, he's there for a paycheck. And it's so obvious the reason why he didn't go to WWE is because he doesn't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to work. You know, they got him mixed up with Shelton Benjamin and the Hurt Syndicate now.
Oh, my God.
And he's trying to join the Hurt Syndicate. You know, all of the African-American talent that's in there, and MJF wants to be a part of it. Like, it makes zero sense. There's no, like I said, there's no reason for it. And
Mark Henry didn't allow that in there.
Right. No. Yeah. And it is so bad, man. It is so bad. Like, and then the storyline with Mox being the champion, and you know,
still doing that Death Rider shit.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I'm here to save AEW, and there's been no explanation at all.
Is he still giving people shots in their mouth and shit?
So no, that hasn't happened recently.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. Like the hypodermic needle in the mouth. No, that hasn't happened.
Well, apparently Tony Khan just barred blood from the show, so there eliminates every Jon Moxley match.
So I think what happened was the network did it. I think the network told Tony Khan
that took what was special away.
Well, here's the thing: what are you going to do with Mox now?
That's every match with him. Is he's bleeding like a stuck pig?
Right. You know what? Jim Cornette said it right. He's like, I can tell you how every Mox match is going to go. And he's like, I guarantee you that within 2 minutes, he's outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch any of his matches, he is dead on. Yeah. Dead on. Because he doesn't know. He can't wrestle. You know, there's no wrestling part to Mox at all.
No.
And now you have Mercedes Moné, who has every title in the business other than, you know, and she's gonna win another one. She's gonna beat Toni Storm.
She's horrible.
Well,
yeah.
I hope not.
And what was the stuff that they had Toni Storm on last week doing? I am here, I am queer, or something like that.
I'll tell you what, Toni Storm. If I was Tony Khan, I would make sure that Toni Storm is on every one of my shows because she is just doing phenomenal work. She's so over with the crowd, it's not even funny. And he's going to hand feed her to Mercedes Moné.
Let's hope
It's
not.
terrible.
Yeah, he's going to feed her to her. You could just tell.
What was the point of that whole situation?
With
Toni Storm doing that? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I guess it was just. Well, did you see the one press conference?
Or what was it?
Well, here's the thing: is everybody knows that she's, you know,
yeah.
that she is LGBTQ. But my thing was hers. Did you see the one interview she did after the last big pay-per-view?
No.
Sitting beside Tony Khan. So she comes out and she goes, "I've prepared a statement before any questions." And she pulls out this paper and she rips it out. She goes, "There once was a man from Nantucket." And she went the whole way through the whole man from Nantucket. And at the end of it, she goes, and now I will take any questions. And it was gold. It was gold. It was Tony Storm doing Tony Storm things, and you could tell that Tony Khan had no idea she was going to do it, because the whole time she's doing it, he's trying to drink water. And every time he goes to take a sip and she starts with the whole saying, you see him put the water down, he looks over at her and goes, like, it was gold.
Have you ever watched how he drinks water?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Right. Because, like, you watch him pull up his water bottle, he goes,
yeah, he'll go like this.
Does he drink with his pinky up?
No, but it's like he's deep throating the damn bottle.
It's like he's sucking the water down like this, Richie. Like, he'll go and take a drink, and then he'll just do like one of these.
Right.
It's like, Jesus,
like,
I'm almost drowning in my water.
So what you're saying is he could beat you in a beer drinking contest, Johnny?
Yeah, well, with the way he chugs those sparkling waters, maybe, I don't know. He's pounding those sparkling waters down. It's bizarre, bro.
Yeah, but man, I gave it a shot just to watch it, and I didn't even get the whole way through it because it was so bad. It was so bad, man. Like,
I haven't watched AEW since they came on to HBO Max. I gave them
I
a
haven't
shot.
watched it since Sting's retirement match.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave them a shot for Dynamite on the HBO, because I have HBO Max. I get it for like $3 a month, so I have it. So I saw it on there the first week they were on. I hadn't seen AEW in forever, and I turned it on, and I was like, I think I was about an hour in, and I texted a fellow wrestling friend, and I was like, I'm fucking tapping on this. I was like, I can't do it.
You can't. Here's the thing: you can't follow it.
Garbage.
And like the stuff that you watch this week, there's no tie-in next week.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. Like,
no continuity to the story, right?
There's no continuity to it, and the matches just don't make sense. Absolutely don't make sense. Like, it was bad. And like I said, with MJF,
it sucks to hear, because you want them to do good as a secondary product, you know?
Right. Like, remember whenever we were doing the fantasy booking for matches, and we were like, man, MJF versus this guy and MJF versus that guy. I wouldn't even put MJF in a match now.
No.
Like, you know what I would do, guys, for AEW? I'm just going to throw it out there. If you really want to make it good again, I want to see more of Hook on there. All right. I want to see the baby goat. All right. We got to see Hook on there. What do you think about it, everyone?
Spanking yet?
What's that?
You get your birthday spanking yet, buddy?
I have somebody for that, buddy. We're good.
You're in the Northwest. Call on me, buddy.
You know what? If that falls through, I'm going to make sure that you are my last call. Okay.
You mean first, right?
Yeah. Whatever you said.
Yeah, that's what. So Scott Hall, though.
Scott Hall. No, I got somebody for that.
On the Tony Storm thing, I want to read my favorite thing she ever said at press conference.
All right.
I pulled that when you were talking about it.
Hey, rewind. Are you watching AEW regularly?
Fuck no. I just watch Raw. That's about it. I mean,
yeah, same here.
I know what Taz is doing, killing it on mic, on color commentary.
Always.
Hook and the Ops are killing it. I'm assuming. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What Tony Storm said. To make a long story short, I once had a 3-month love affair with Stan Hansen. Our last night together, as my back was dripping with what turned out to be chewing tobacco, he turned to me and gave me some advice. He said, when you're in Japan, you're a foreigner, but when you step into the ring with you, they're in your country. And he gave me a lariat, but not with his arm.
Damn.
Dude, Tony Storm is gold. She is gold.
Dude, she's awesome, dude. She's coming to Portland soon, too. They're having an indie show. She's coming, and Matt Cardona's coming. I don't know if I'll go or not.
You should go.
It's a fun one to go to.
If Matt was going to be there, he'd be there.
Yeah. It's at Portland State. It's like a month from now. I might go. I'd figure out.
Yeah, what if Linda was coming? Would you be there?
I'd call in sick that day, dude. I'd be waiting.
Oh, he'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He'd be sleeping in line for like a week to get the first crack at sniffing Linda.
Yeah. He'd be bathing in Tommy Girl and shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny that she is the Department of Education head.
Yeah.
Did you see the letter that she wrote them? And then the Harvard students graded it and just eviscerated her.
Oh, yeah. Because it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, God.
Well, she got the job because of her looks. I mean, how can you pass that up, dude?
She's a
Talking about
seasoned
you.
gal.
I'll tell you what, though, Rewind.
Peppa.
Babe.
She could spank me before you did, buddy. Okay.
No.
Dude, that's not cool,
Yeah.
dude. That's not cool, dude. That's not
That's
cool.
not cool, dude.
Bros before hoes, dude. Come on.
Is that the same when you're talking about spanking? I don't know.
Whatever you
I don't
want to
think
do.
I don't think you're interpreting that correctly.
Right.
Or maybe you're
Could you
not.
imagine Rewind?
Maybe I'm not. Yeah.
Could you guys imagine Rewind on that old school show, like you mentioned earlier, Taxi Cab's Confessions or whatever? Like, I used to love that when they would put it on HBO. You'd see these just crazy stories from people. Rewind and Taxi Cab Confessions would win a fucking Emmy.
Oh, dude,
I don't know about that.
absolutely.
Me and Jew together would win an Emmy.
Oh,
Odd
God.
couple.
Odd couple.
Yep.
Dude, I can picture you two going out to a bar together and just having some great laughs. And then by the end of the night, Jude's in a bar fight, taking some guy and chucking him across the bar. Rewind's just sitting there with his beer, just laughing and continuing to tell a story about a recent punishment bowl session.
He'd be like, "Hey Jude, when you're done there, I got that birthday spanking
Yeah,
for you."
I'll give you a good rub down there just because of your you saving us tonight here.
Or I might have the black guy from 2 hands you for a massage.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
might be there
There you
too.
go.
Rewind tries to grab and massage Jude's
Oh,
wonderful
Jesus.
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you, Jude?
48.
How old? For prime age for me, buddy. Prime age.
Not
Yeah,
quite.
I'm
Linda
still a little
McMahon,
young for you,
you're
though,
getting
buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely a little young for him, considering
young.
Linda's about 80 now, right?
But she doesn't look a day over 27.
No,
Oh, God.
absolutely.
I don't know what 27
no,
year olds you're
you're
looking
right.
at.
She does not look like a day over 27, buddy. You are right.
Yeah.
Rewind's
She
always
needs to quit
great.
getting that plastic surgery. She looks awful.
She looks, whoa. Take it down, Ricky. She looks
Whoa.
awesome.
Sorry,
right?
she looks awful.
Shit, it's like talking shit about Taz right now when you say that about Linda. That's Rewind's
man
baby.
looks like
They're
the
right there,
Monopoly
dude.
man right now.
He sure as fuck does, man. Dude, he looks wild when you see pictures of him.
His fucking mustache. I'm like, just put the do-rag on, man.
Here's my thing. Have you guys heard about the new promotion with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan?
Oh, God.
There
Yeah.
are rumors that Vince is backing that.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
There are rumors.
What a way to attach your billions to that fucking horse shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Dude,
garbage.
it's what happens when you drink too much American beer.
Seriously.
Well, back in the day, Vince had that
Unbelievably.
bodybuilding league. What was it?
Yeah, the World Bodybuilding Federation,
Yeah.
the WBF.
Yeah, then the steroids shut that shit down.
Yeah,
Real
shut
fast.
that shit
Bro,
down
stay away
fast.
from that, dude. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna
Oh
flop.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my
Has
god.
Vince
Yeah.
ever been successful outside of wrestling when it's just pure sports
I'm
entertainment?
not gonna lie though, guys. That was one of the coolest promos of the year that Bischoff and Hogan did. I was really excited for whatever it was. They
It
got
did,
me
and
hooked.
they let us down by bringing out Izzy Martinez.
And here's the thing: no one in the wrestling business
Yeah.
knows who he is.
Zero.
Has no idea who he is. They
Yeah.
brought him out, and people were probably like,
Well, who the
Who
fuck
is
is
that?
that guy?
"Yeah, who the fuck is this guy?" You know.
Yeah.
Izzy Mania is gonna be. He's a. I'm
Izzy
not telling
Mania.
he's a badass or anything like that, but that shit was a popcorn fart, man. And
That was a Conor McGregor moment, dude. Who the fuck is that guy?
guy. Rand says Vince was at the Hall of Fame. Was he?
Huh.
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
don't think he was. I know
I
Linda
think
was.
he should be inducted myself, but
Linda was there with Rewind. Rewind was on her arm that night.
Dude, I was on
Yeah.
her arm, dude.
For
Fuck
sure.
yeah. All
She took
night.
him on his first trip out to Vegas, and she really gave Rewind a night on the town he'll never forget.
he was a rambling man.
Yeah, he had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, so he couldn't talk about it here on one of his punishment bowl sessions.
Knock her up too. Get that baby money, man.
Oh, Linda, what a fox, right? Rewind.
Great dime piece, dude. I don't know if you guys are high or drunk tonight. How do you not see
Yeah.
that beauty in her, dude?
What a babe. What
dime
a
piece.
babe,
I think
man.
you had a dime bag.
Yeah, for real.
All right, let me bring on our next person here. Jeremy's here. Jeremy, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, buddy? How's it
Come
going?
on, Jeremy.
Another day in the neighborhood.
All right, man. You said you got a
Yeah.
question for everybody before, so that to get everybody in the panel to answer it. What do you got for us, man?
All right, so with Backlash happening this weekend, and we have Randy Orton versus John Cena. Say if Randy Orton ever got in any of the trouble or got hurt and Cena never went to Hollywood, who would be the real GOAT and who would have the most titles?
Cena.
So have you seen recently that that Ric Flair has been advertising himself as the 21-time
Yeah.
world champion
Really?
now?
Yep. He
Yep.
is.
He was on. I
He's
forget
such
what
a
he was
sour
on.
fart.
Yep. I forget what he was on, but they advertised whatever his name came up. It said Ric Flair, 21-time world champion.
He is such a sour fart. He is, dude.
Jeez.
It's terrible. Just give it up already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ric
Oh
Flair.
my Lord.
But I mean, as far as Randy Orton being the GOAT, here's the thing: if he wouldn't have got in trouble, he wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made any difference.
Right.
I really don't. I don't think. Cena has always been the golden boy.
Mm-hmm.
He has, because he made the most merchandise money.
Right. It's all about how much money you can make for me.
Yeah.
Randy Orton wasn't going to be that guy. Like a WWE.
When's the last Randy Orton shirt that you seen be the hottest seller?
Whenever
Never.
he was with Riddle.
Yeah.
When he was with Riddle. But like at WWE World at WrestleMania, they had the 25 or the whatever for Cena they had on there. They had all of his merchandise from every WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Every shirt that they had all of them.
That's pretty
And like you could look at them from beginning to end. And here's my thing, and I always say this: it's always about memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what memory do you have? Whenever you're looking at all those different shirts,
cool. You could remember it.
You can remember it, right? Like you said, Richie, with Orton, what shirt do you know of Randy Orton's?
I'll wait.
Yeah, you don't. But with Cena, if you look at every one of them, and I have a picture of it, I'll share it with you guys. I have a picture of every one of them. And when you look at them down the line, you're like, oh man, that's whenever he went up against this person. That's when he went up against this person. But you can remember every one of them. And then they had this huge wall there that you could sign. And it just said, thank you, Cena, 2025. It had all this stuff on there.
That's pretty cool.
After the first day, you had a hard time finding a spot to sign.
Because everybody did, yeah.
Yeah, everybody was signing it. So if you ever see it where it says 20 and 25, right underneath 25, that's me. So
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Cena's stuff that he's doing right now is my favorite that he's ever done in his career. I think he's doing an amazing job.
I think the only downfall of it is they waited too long to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they waited way too long to do it because it's
when
it's going to end.
Yeah.
So you're anticipating.
Or do you?
End.
Or do you?
He has said that this is it. He has said he doesn't want to be like a Ric Flair. He doesn't want to be like a HBK or any of them. He said, I don't want to be like them. He's like, I'm telling you now, I have this many dates, and at the end of these dates, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I believe him. I believe him because he's just.
I love how they're advertising him as a former head talent of WWE. Now he's the A-lister Hollywood star, transitioning Hollywood star.
Right. Yeah. But no, I think they waited too long to do this. Is it good? It's phenomenal because it's different. He's never been a heel, and even whenever people were like, well, whenever he first came out, he was a heel, but the crowd was loving him.
Right.
Like for me to be a heel, the crowd should hate you.
Yeah.
They didn't hate him back then. They loved him. Now they hate him.
They hate him.
So
and they love to hate him. It's more of a love-hate thing right now too. It's
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I'll go to rewind. What do you think of John Cena's run here that he's doing as a heel? Do you like it?
I can care less. Only reason I watch is because of Cody. I like Cody a lot. I think Cody is probably the best mic person in the WWE right now.
Cody Crybaby.
What?
You're gonna get those hands, and it's not gonna be a good way.
I think no one on the mic is better than Cody, except maybe CM Punk is up there with him. I think when he was in there with Gunther, he talked circles around Gunther. I think he was talking circles around Cena. Only reason that made that match entertaining to me is at the end when Cody cut that promo, he said, "Come get some." So to be honest, I wasn't watching wrestling when Cena was around. This does nothing for me. Him and Randy Orton does nothing for me. I don't understand that because Orton just lost at SummerSlam to Gunther for the belt. They're doing it 9 months later. He's going to lose again too. So I don't understand that.
It's their history that they're going back to rewind because they had a long-term feud.
I watched that too, but CM Punk would be so much funner.
Yeah.
When CM Punk cut the time or the pipe bomb, John Cena was in the ring hurt and go and he's cutting that promo. I feel like
I
him and
agree.
Punk would have such a way better chemistry. I hope they do that somewhere down the road before Cena leaves.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, because
They absolutely will.
I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, but when Punk and Cena had their thing, I tuned in here and there. It was entertaining. It drew me back in. I could care less about Randy Orton. I like his dad better with a broken arm. Made more sense to me.
Cowboy Bob.
Yeah.
Do we get? I'll go to the cult of personality, and then we'll go to Blackjack. What's up, Blackjack? It's good to see you, man.
What's up,
Hopefully the
Blackjack?
teeth are doing better. You got a little dental procedure done today, folks. So we're hoping you feel better.
Man.
I had a tooth removed.
Ooh, never a fun time.
Nope.
Cult of personality. When do you think we get Mr. Jeremy? When do you think we get CM Punk versus John Cena on this last run? When do you think it's going to come up? You think we're going to get it?
I hope we get it at Survivor Series, but I want to get everyone else's take on who do you think deserves it to retire Cena the most. I think it's going to come in December. Whoever he gets he's going to drop the title in December.
To retire.
Who's going to have it?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a sleeper. I'd like to see Dominic Mysterio do it.
I would like to see it
That'd be
too.
dope.
Yeah.
I would love to see Pentagon get a run with the title at some point as well too.
Mm-hmm. Think of how great it would be for Dirty Dom to like somehow win a shot at the belt at some point. Maybe he wins Money in the Bank if they go that route with him, and then he cashes in and retires John Cena. How fucking great!
Okay, let me ask you this: if Cena does leave with the title, how do you feel about them having a new title be up for grabs in the Royal Rumble next year?
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it, but it won't happen. Cena's not that kind of guy.
I don't like it because then there's always that question, of who's the real champion.
You're shitting on your own title by doing that.
Right. I mean, if he retires with the title, that there's no chance he's going to come back for a match. He's already said he's done. So there's always going to be that asterisk towards the new champion because he never beat Cena for that belt.
It kind of sucks to see WWE the way they're treating the champions nowadays. It beats the shit out of me why they aren't the main event every single time. I
think Triple H said it best in an interview here a couple of years ago. He goes, "You don't need a title to be a draw."
Yeah.
And I think from there is whenever they decided that the titles aren't as big as they used to be. Like I can remember as a kid, Hulk Hogan being champion. You watched the show to see Hulk Hogan.
In that
now, right now, like who tunes in to see the champions?
Yeah.
I mean, Gunther and
Jey
Jay
Uso doesn't even have a match this weekend.
But that takes your shine away from your main guy. Like, why wouldn't you build that around the champion?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing, though. Jey Uso.
Then what does it make sense? So you would call him what, a European champion at this point? Like, I mean, it just it just seems like it's hot potato now with those belts, and it sucks. I think they've diminished the importance of it. But I'm old school when it comes to that. I kind of believe what Stone Cold says. If you're not in it to be the best and to be that top guy and to be the champion, then what the hell are you doing it for?
Well, the champs have been holding on to it for a pretty long time, recently for the majority of them. I mean, Roman Reigns had it for like 4 fucking years or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Cody had it for over a year. Gunther had it, I think, for close to a year, a little over a year. Something like that. So they've had the belts on these guys for a long time. The hot potato booking of the title really hasn't been done in a long time, it seems to me.
And I think the thing that hurt it also is your secondary titles don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure.
They don't. You're United States champion. You have Jacob Fatu. Man, Jacob Fatu's ceiling isn't even close to where he's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
And they're really. Who's he going to go against? Solo? I care less about Solo Sikoa now.
Right.
The bloodline storyline's over. So like these guys, I'm surprised they did not release Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they didn't release them.
And they're paying a grip of money for those two guys too.
One of them's hurt now. I mean, one of not
Tonga Loa.
Okay.
Tonga Loa's hurt. Yeah. One person I would love to see them push right now because he's got heat on him is Karrion Kross.
Yeah, he's doing some good work.
I would love to see them push him to the moon.
He's a phenomenal worker. Man, turn
Great
him
promo
into that.
too.
Yeah, turn him into that Killer Cross character again,
Oh,
and let
dude.
him just cook. Let him cook.
Yeah.
You know, I think they dropped the ball on him. Same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. WWE dropped the ball on him as well.
Yeah, and he's gone.
That's criminal, dude.
He's gone now.
How could you fuck that up? I mean, that Royal Rumble that I went to where he won, they should have gave him that Mania moment and him won that year. I don't understand that booking at all. Holy shit.
Even if you made
you
him
had they served him up as a star on a silver fucking platter. Go watch his debut on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that's not one of the biggest pops you've ever fucking heard.
Yeah. And
now he's not re-signed. Yep, he's not with them anymore now. He didn't re-sign. You mentioned Karrion Kross and you mentioned T-shirt sales earlier. It came out today. I think Karrion Kross is the number 2 or number 3 biggest shirt seller right now for them.
Dude, I'll go buy one of his shirts.
Yeah, he moved right up. He's beating John Cena. He's beating CM Punk right at this moment. So that's a pretty impressive.
The fans
feat
want
right
him,
there.
dude. The fans want Karrion Kross. Give him.
I can see them doing the draft and moving Kross from SmackDown to Raw.
They need to.
And just throw him the title. Throw him a title.
Look at the killer run he had when he was
him
in
and Gunther would be fucking great.
Yeah. Sign me up for that. I mean,
I want to see Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed.
Yeah, when Bronson comes back, that would be a good match right there.
Yep.
They said that Bronson's has dropped a lot of weight though since he's been gone.
Yeah.
So
he's got a high ceiling to him, man. That guy's a star in the making too. He had a hell of a performance at Survivor Series this year.
Should have never jumped off that steel cage.
Yeah. Didn't he like snap his ankle or some shit like that?
Yeah, he broke both his ankles.
That was fucking
oh God.
Yeah.
Not a bright move. Blackjack, what about you, man? What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, I was going to mention about that Real American Freestyle stuff, but I'm not too sure because there's like a lot of interesting stuff happening because someone I connect with on Facebook, they actually went with a league called Shoot Pro Wrestling, and I think they were trying to work a deal with like Bischoff and Hogan, and then Bischoff and Hogan screwed them over, and so there's been a back and forth on Facebook where Bischoff and Hogan have started Real American Freestyle, but the argument is they've ripped off another product called Shoot Pro Wrestling, which is trying to tap into like the catch wrestling sort of stuff, bringing that back.
That's gonna flop so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Have they said, is it just going to be straight freestyle, like collegiate wrestling?
He said it's going to be, like, he didn't go over the rules of it yet, but he said it's going to be a cross between the sports entertainment element and then the real freestyle wrestling.
Because they have no fucking idea. That's why.
Yeah. They didn't get
They're trying to kayfabe everyone, I think, because they're saying we'll have the entertainment value, but then they're saying it's real freestyle. But it's sounding really stupid because they keep mentioning entertainment.
It sounds
what
shoot against the wall and see what'll stick.
Pretty much.
Watch and see their big stars will be Gabe Stevenson.
Yeah, Gabe Stevenson. You're gonna bring him over or what?
There's zero money in wrestling. Let these guys get paid. Wrestling's a grueling, hard sport. I say all for it, dude. Let them get paid.
Do you think that they're going to be able to sustain?
What?
Will they sustain it? Can you think they can sustain paying these people good money?
I don't know. There's a lot of jiu-jitsu company or tournaments out there. They get paid. If it's more like catch can wrestling or catch wrestling, let them do it. If it's freestyle, I watch the Olympics.
I'm not saying let them do it. I mean, totally let them do it. But man, it's gonna flop worse than the XFL. I mean, it's gonna be horrible.
If you don't have anybody if you don't have asses in seats to watch it, how much can you sustain? If
Hulk Hogan is not a draw anymore. People boo him out of the fucking building everywhere he goes.
Yep.
He's going to be holding a stick like Mean Gene in the back, trying to hype them up before they come out. I'm not going to lie. I'll give it a watch when it comes out. I'll check out anything once.
I'll review it. I mean,
the true test would be if they can get a streaming deal for it, which they have not yet. So they do not have anywhere to really push it at this moment. And he admitted that. Bischoff admitted it on his show. They don't have a place for it yet. And they're shopping it around.
With Hogan attached to it, I don't see how they're going to get anybody to jump on it with Hogan attached to it.
Yeah, no shit. That's a good point.
I think the key word you mentioned is XFL. How they've made it sound, they're probably going to do like the XFL shit where the early XFL where they had all the storyline crap with like the American football,
Mhm.
and that's going to be American freestyle, real American freestyle.
It's gonna be
But then
so
they
bad.
Ben Askren, what do you have to say before this big match? Let me tell you something, brother.
Oh my god.
Like,
Funky Ben.
We're
I
going
think
to
it's
allow you
gonna
to
be-
stick a thumb up somebody's ass. you
Yeah,
know?
I think it's going to be
Oil.
something like they used to do with the roller derby in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like that's like kind of the cheesy production or like American Gladiator style, with entrances and everything.
I'd rather watch American Gladiator.
Me too,
I loved
dude.
American Gladiators. That shit was cool.
Yeah, it was.
I think Hulk Hogan's trying to tap into the American Gladiator stuff because of his time with it. But with the Shoot Pro group they've ripped off, I think they're more like legit, but they've got a few like people like Larry Savisco and Frank Shamrock involved. But I think this
Fuck
real
is still
American
around?
Oh
freestyle.
my god, I thought he was dead.
Is he still
I
wearing
thought he was in
braces?
prison.
Yeah.
Frank Shamrock. Oh,
Yeah. Is he still around?
yeah. Yeah, I think he's one of the people who is like involved in the management side of things.
Good luck.
He's a
But
What Hogan doesn't realize is with wrestling now, amateur wrestling, they have NIL deals. And if any amateur wrestler is worth any of their, hype or whatever, they're going to go to the UFC versus going to Hulk Hogan. Look
Well,
at
and
Bo
here's my
Nickel.
thing, like what did Hulk Hogan ever have to do with collegiate wrestling?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where did this interest
Put Kurt Angle in there, and then I understand it. Like,
Yeah.
what did Hulk Hogan have to do with that?
Where did this interest come from? Where did this fucking idea come from that they think it's going to be good? And
It's
when
just
I was
totally
listening to
off the
Bischoff
wall.
talk about it on his show last week, this guy was passionate about it. I'm glad for him. He's trying to sell this product. He really believes that this thing is going to take off. Like,
Bischoff does?
He really does, man. And I love Easy. I love
God
Eric.
bless.
You know that. But I just don't share the same fucking sentiment on this one, man. I do see nothing about this being a success.
Nothing.
It's harder to
Jeff
get a
Jarrett.
TV deal than fucking WCW with the AOL merger.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett and Conrad spoke about it, and I think they were talking about what they thought of upcoming Real American Freestyle. I think it was Jeff Jarrett and Conrad. I could be wrong, but I think they made reference to it could be like how Hogan and Jarrett, or not Hogan and Jarrett, Hogan and Bischoff come into TNA, and they're like, we're going to change the wrestling world and all that, and then they ended up getting bored, and it ended up like going downhill. It wasn't too bad. They had some elements that were good, but then it ended up going downhill because they lost interest. And I could see that happening with Real American Freestyle. They'll be like all excited about it,
They're
and they
not
don't have a
full of piss
long-term
and
plan.
vinegar anymore, man. They're just not. Father
Here's
Time
my
waits for
thing.
nobody.
I would love to hear what Conrad had to say about it because I know Conrad is
He
not.
put it
a
over to
Hulk
the
Hogan.
moon, Jude. He did.
Did he?
Yeah, he put it over the moon. He always is gonna. Bischoff's been with him for years. He's one of his best friends, and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not saying Conrad has a piece of it of some sorts, but Conrad. Conrad's gonna find a way to squeeze a piece out of it for himself somewhere or another.
He always
Make it
does.
He always does, man. He's a smart businessman, so he's gonna put that shit over like it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Like he's gonna tell you it's gonna shock the world, dude. He's gonna believe it, brother. It's gonna be great. No.
I
This is going to be
actually
the best
have
thing since the last best thing. Yeah.
I was watching a podcast the other day. Did you guys see where Seth Rollins said that Dana White wanted to do an actual fight with Seth Rollins and CM
God, I
Punk
did
in the
hear that.
MMA?
Did. Oh god.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
said
that shit.
he's like,
What
yeah,
was
he's like, I would fight him for real. He's like, tell Dana to send me the money. He said, we'll make that happen.
He was
What
saying,
would it be? A pillow fight?
yeah, I don't know if you heard that, Leslie. He was saying that Seth Rollins was trying to book a fight in the UFC with Dana White versus CM Punk, a real fight. Who wins
Yeah,
that?
it sounds like it'd be a pillow
Seth
fight.
Rollins wins that shit.
Does Seth's train?
I don't think either of them would win it. I think they'll knock each other out, and they'll
Probably.
both get in.
CM Punk. Here's the thing: as bad as CM Punk is, he'd beat the shit out of Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would. He would choke him out.
Yeah, he'd beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. I know CM Punk's UFC career was drizzling shits, but Seth Rollins is not. He's not a trained fighter. And as much as CM Punk is not a trained fighter either, he's still a trained fighter.
Yeah,
He didn't train
Yeah.
with pieces of shit either. Yeah, he didn't train with pieces of shit when he was. He tried.
No,
You got to
he
give
didn't.
it to him.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
training
he
with Duke Rufus and all those guys and all those killers
Didn't
over there.
Matt Hughes actually also helped train him as well?
Dude,
Yeah.
I will never forget that first UFC fight he had when he came out and he just kind of did this and like marched to the guy, went right into a chokehold, and it was like, wow.
Mhm.
Oh, when he took on
Never
Mickey Gall.
bad.
Yeah.
Mickey Gall, yeah.
He walked straight to Mickey Gall.
He
His
did.
hands were still up,
He
but
just went like this.
he was like, "Okay, here I go."
It was as stupid as bloody Brock Lesnar trying to put Frank Mir in the sharpshooter, and then Frank Mir makes Brock tap. Remember that?
You got him back though.
Right, I was just going to say that he beat the shit out of
You got
Frank
him
Mir.
back.
the
He
second
did.
one.
He beat the
Yeah.
dog shit
He
out of
didn't make
Frank
that
Mir.
mistake twice.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Mir got lucky in that
He
one.
bounced
because
fucking
Brock was
Frankie
new.
Mir's head off that mat, man. He hit
Yeah,
him.
he did.
Oh,
Yep.
God, no thanks, man. You can say what they want about Brock's punching.
Brock's
when
a
he
little
was
bit different with his run than CM Punk's was.
I'll never
Hey,
forget
hey,
Joe Rogan called he had the biggest gloves in the history of like the UFC. They were like a size 5 or 6L. They were bigger than Carwin's, and they would call them his lunch boxes.
Oh yeah.
Lunchboxes.
Here's the thing: if you
Oh,
watch
good.
Brock fight, his hammer fists.
Yeah, they're good.
I
They
mean,
were brutal.
when he fought Randy Couture.
That was
Randy
a great
Couture
fight.
said, "I remember him hitting me twice."
Yep.
He said,
He hit him
"I
a hell of a
don't
lot more
remember."
than twice.
He said, "I don't remember the 12 other times."
Go look at
Well-
that picture of him and Brock Lesnar and Shane Carlin touching gloves.
Yeah,
Brock's hands twice the size as his.
Yeah.
My son,
Shane had
Shane
some-
Carwin had big mitts.
Big motherfucker.
Dude, my favorite Brock moment in the UFC is when he was like, I'm gonna have a Coors Light because Bud Light don't fucking pay me nothing.
yep.
Yeah,
Dana was hot at him for that because
Yeah,
wasn't Bud
right.
Light their big sponsor? Or something
yeah,
at that
biggest
moment?
sponsor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you gotta love it,
Well,
man.
I remember the fight he had with Heath Herring. Heath Herring disappeared after that because Brock crushed the orbital bone in his face.
Brock hit him so fucking hard he rolled backwards.
Right,
did.
right.
He did.
And then Brock just pounced on him.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
But to Heath's credit, he survived 3 rounds of that brutality.
Yeah, he did.
He's
And then he met Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. Big Daddy Kane.
Pounded the
I
piss
think,
out of Brock.
Cardio Kane.
I think Brock would have stuck it out with UFC if it wasn't for that health
Diverticulitis.
problems, and then he got caught out with the steroid stuff.
He could have been
Yeah,
a goat.
Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis got him, yeah. And he came back from it, I think once, maybe twice, but they had told him at the end that
Yeah, he
he
fought Mark Hunt.
Yeah, UFC
Yeah.
200. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diverticulitis and then get kicked in the stomach by Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God, that
Yeah.
was brutal when he was kidney kicking him too, right in the back, man. Liver shots, kidneys, he was creaming him on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I felt terrible to watch that, man. You had to know his insides must have felt like they were gonna
Mhm.
fucking explode.
When
Yep.
he did that last kick to, I think it was his right side ribs. As soon as he kicked him, it turned purple.
Yeah.
Dude,
You knew
I've
he
never
was
wanted
fine.
to see a match so bad in my life with Brock and DC though. When they did
Dude,
that
same
promo
here,
in the
dude.
cage.
Same here.
Yeah.
That was so cool. That was so cool. That would have been awesome.
I actually have an interview coming up that I'm doing, like a write-up interview, but I'm waiting for it to be approved, whatnot, with a real-life Australian shoot wrestler
Mm-hmm.
who had background training with, like, I don't know if you've heard of Mario Milano
No.
and people
Nice.
like that. And, he was like a wrestler way back. He was popular in Australia, but he was a wrestler who wrestled in the WWF. He was
Cool.
looked at as like a next Bruno at one stage, but then he come to Australia and become our version. He's like an Italian wrestler, but yeah, I asked him about the Eric Bischoff Hulk Hogan thing, and there's a few questions I've asked, but I've just got to wait for approval. But yeah, he goes into the mechanics of like pouch wrestling or the shooter style, and talks a little bit about the old school heritage of how it connects with pro wrestling and whatnot.
Very nice.
Cool, man. Be looking
Post it
forward
up
to that.
let us know when it comes out, man. We'll definitely check it out.
I've pretty much done it. I'm just waiting for approval to get it published.
Very
Nice.
nice, man. Very
But
nice.
yeah, it's
Well,
a pretty good interview from what I've read. Even though I'm the person who's sending the questions and whatnot, and he replied. I've reread it a few times, and it's like really interesting So I'm
Well, you got to
marking
put
out
yourself
my
over
work.
too for doing it. You got to put yourself over in the process. That's how
Absolutely.
you got to give yourself the credit for doing it too. Yeah, post it up. Let us know when it comes out, man. We'll definitely be
And
checking
it's
that out.
helping with like a local gym who's trying to preserve the heritage of like the Australian shooter style. And he talks about like legends like Billy Robinson and his take on the Billy Robinson stuff, and how a lot of people go over to England, but we've got like roots here in Australia and all over the world with like the catch wrestling, and tells you different stuff about like how the terms get mixed up. And yeah, it's really going to be really good if I can get it approved. And I'm looking. I'll let you know when I release it.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do. Well, gents, we're going to be out of time for tonight, man. It was a blast to have you guys on as always. We'll be back next week. So thank you, gentlemen, for popping on and joining us tonight. We appreciate it immensely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.
All right, fellas. I'm going to close the green room down now. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Richie, great show as always, my friend.
Yeah, man, I loved it. I hope everybody liked the new concept of the show. Was it really that bad? We'll be revisiting, a few soon. I hope we do the Undertaker Stone Cold one. I think that would be a good one. And then I'm sure you've had, a few ideas down the road too. So we'll keep that going. We've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up, and I'm enjoying doing the show with you, man, as always. So
always, buddy. Always. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have everybody out with us. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. Rand, thank you as always for coming by as well. Jeremy, Laza, everybody that came through tonight, we really appreciate it and always enjoy having everybody out. We'll pick a good topic in between now and next week. Richie and I will kind of talk about it in private, and we haven't come up with anything for next week yet, but we'll post a good topic, and maybe in a couple of weeks here we can do a little trivia again and kick your ass in some form of trivia.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't have to whoop your ass in a beer drinking contest.
Bring that heat.
Yeah, just to shut you down a little bit, man.
You have to work on that throat skill a little bit, bud.
I'll start studying Tony Khan's drinking water
Yeah,
videos.
there you go.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week. For Richie, I'm John. We're out of here. Have a good night, everybody.